So yeah, who to betta, Christian Pulisic or Bukayo Saka? The stats aren't in depth because if I went in depth on the stats, I think people would be bored and confused. So I just did goals and
Yeah.
basically assists. So 2024 Pulisic 17 goals, 10 assists. 2025 this year so far 10 goals, 2 assists. 24 12 goals, 13 assists for Bukayo. 2025 8 goals, 3 assists. I can go in depth on the stats in a little bit, but like more in depth stats. But Nate, who to betta between these two players?
I love Christian Pulisic, man. You know I do. I love him. He's our
Feel the
boy.
butts coming.
We talk about him every day here on the show. We think he's elite. He plays in a top league. He's someone that, again, we mentioned the importance of the World Cup and how he has to be special. He's our guy. I think he's the best domestic product that we've ever produced in the history of our country. Maybe not from a numbers perspective, okay? Maybe he hasn't reached the Landon Donovans or the Clint Dempseys quite yet. However, I think he's the most talented, individually talented player that has ever come from the United States. You're right. There is a but coming. But Bukayo Saka I think he's the best winger in the Premier League. He's someone who, and I saw an article not long ago released about, he's almost making the conversation look silly. With the things that he does, he is the main distributor and table setter in a lot of ways for that Arsenal team. Which I know that obviously the confidence is not high that they're going to complete the job. I think that's a little PTSD maybe from the fan base and from yourself. But Bukayo Saka and what he's doing at 24 years old is crazy, and I think that's the other part of the talk too, is that he's 3 years younger than Christian Pulisic. Christian Pulisic was with Chelsea for a while. Obviously, that did not work out the way he wanted it to, so that's why he went to AC Milan. And, do I think Serie A is on the same level as the Premier League? No, I don't think it is. And I think Bukayo Saka, at 3 years younger than what Christian Pulisic is doing roughly the same in a much harder league. So it is, yeah, as much as I hate to say it, because, Pulisic's our boy, I think Bukayo Saka is the better of the two.
Interesting. Okay. So where do I go with this? So do I go with Starboy or do I go with Captain America, the LeBron James of soccer? It's still Bukayo Saka. If anyone thought I was going to go anywhere else, that's crazy. I think Bukayo's better. I know his numbers aren't great this year, but again, it's also the way that teams have been playing Arsenal. It's the way Arsenal have been scoring goals. I think they went a month with like 1 goal scored in open play because everyone scored own goals against them. It was weird, but Bukayo is still unbelievable. What this man does to defenses and how teams have to double him out wide. He causes so much attention, and that opens up other players and opens up other things for like a Victor Gyökeres, who somehow leads this team in scoring, leads Kai Havertz, it leads for Trossard and Martinelli, it leaves players for like that, and Bukayo is very good on the ball. He's really good at crossing. His left foot is unbelievable. Is he having a down year in terms of Bukayo standards? Yeah, but what this guy does in terms of creating chances, key passes, he's like top 5. I think he's top 2 in the league in terms of key passes, chances created, crosses in, like just key plays overall. This kid's still a stud, and he's still under 25, which is crazy. Like when you see a player that comes up at like 18 or something, and like you get like it feels like they've been playing for so long, and yet they're still under 25. Bukayo's a stud. Christian Pulisic. I think he's starting to get into his own into the European game. I think he's really starting to be his own player. He's starting to really start to dominate everybody. I think it took him a while. I think especially at Chelsea, it took him a while to adjust. But that's also Chelsea, man. They just buy players to buy players just because why not? So I like that he finally got out of there. AC Milan, what he's doing at AC Milan is unbelievable. He's having a better season in terms of numbers than Saka, but what Saka does on the ball and his attention that he brings to the back lines and the way teams have to set themselves up, they shift a little bit more to the left just to defend this guy and try to double him up on the wings. Just what he does is so good, and Pulisic doesn't sniff it as much as I hate saying that. Pulisic is not. He's not the same guy as Saka. Even on the men's national team, Pulisic doesn't get the same amount of attention Saka does in the Premier League or Champions League for Arsenal. Like, this kid is still a stud, and the funny thing is this guy's always compared to wingers in the Premier League and all the time, and every single year there's a new one, and still Saka still reigns supreme on all this. Saka's a
Yeah.
stud. I mean, as much as I love Christian, and I hope that like Christian becomes as good as Saka, and if not better, there's just nothing beating my star boy, man. Bukayo's a
Yeah.
stud, bro. It's just
Well,
different level.
yeah, and the truth is that anyways. No, I the truth is that and Christian Pulisic is in the prime of his career, right? So that yeah, look
Man, we're the same now.
Christian Pulisic is in the prime of his career. Which if this is his prime, nice. You got wings on your
Yeah, I'm like,
sweatshirt.
you know.
Cool. Nice. Heck yeah. Hey, just do it, man. Just do it. Actually, it's on this side. There you go. Just do it, Nike. But if this is the prime of Christian Pulisic's career, that's great. You know, like we're getting great productivity out of him. He's a great player. Because I mean, at 27 years old, obviously, I think he's playing his best ball that he's ever played in his life, and it's awesome to see as an American. But with Bukayo Saka still having 3 more years to get to that point, and at 24 doing what he's already done, you know, and he's already drawn these comparisons in the years leading up to this. The kid's just different. You know, he's just the way he moves about everything. And so I just don't think, I think Bukayo Saka is a step ahead of him. And I think he's probably the best. I don't think it's really debatable, but I think he is the best in his position in the Prem for sure.
That's getting a lot of people pissed off, just so you know. They do not, there's this weird notion of like, if you hype up an Arsenal player, it's like you're just not smart. Like everyone hates when Arsenal gets love. It's really weird. It's like this weird thing that all these fans have. But I just think, again, that's not even that's not even Saka's best year. Saka's best year, I think, was either 22 or 2023. I forget exactly which year it was, but he had, I think, 15 plus goals in just the Prem itself and 10 assists. So is he having a
Yep.
down year? Yeah, but I mean, when you bring in a $70 million striker, and then you bring in a 50 million pound winger, and you still have like the rest of your group there, your numbers are going to go down a little bit. Oh, and Eze, I even forgot about Eze. When you bring those type of players in, your numbers are going to go down. I mean, it's not like
Yeah.
Messi where you're the best player of all time and you can bring in all these players and you still get numbers and you still put them up all the time. And that's just not the case. Saka, I think, is in the hall of really good. And when I say he's elite, you know what? Maybe I would. Maybe I'd say he's elite. I think Saka's in the hall of elite. And I think Pulisic is probably in the hall of really good right now. And this isn't all time. I'm just saying this season and right now, and you know how it's going so far. I think they're just in different levels. That's not a knock on Christian, but I just think Saka is just a step above Christian. That's what I think.
Well, and we've already talked about, you know, Pulisic potentially going back to the Prem at some point. Now, I obviously that's not going to happen soon because he still has, you know, pretty lofty goals with the club at AC Milan. But we've had multiple conversations about, hey, certain teams in the Prem are eyeing Christian Pulisic, have showed and expressed interest. So who's to say he can't go back to the Prem and produce at a high level? But, you know, as you talked about, it is a very physical league, and does he have the body to be able to hold up because of the injury issues that he's had? And I think that's the other thing that's maybe most impressive about Bukayo Saka is that he's been able to handle that physicality, you know, and I think with how skilled he is, it's just made it harder. It's made life really hard. And when you have entire teams or clubs, you know, shifting their entire game plan around, hey, we got to stop this guy, you know the type of impact that you have on a team. You know the type of impact you have on the way that they move about the pitch, which I'm sure teams do that against Christian Pulisic too. But if we want to make a true head-to-head comparison, you know, if Pulisic goes back to the Premier League and does what he's doing now, then yeah, we can actually have a conversation about who to BETTA in this situation. But it's tough to make those comparisons.
That's why a couple years ago, everyone was like, Arsenal bottle jobs, Arsenal bottle this. Well, a couple years ago, when our first chance at the title race is because our only option was to give the ball to Bukayo and cross it in, and everyone was like, let's just double Saka, and everything started to go downhill from them because we didn't have the options back then, and we didn't have the options of, you know, bringing on an Eze or bringing on a Madueke or Gyökeres or Havertz. We didn't have that option, and then all of a sudden everyone starts, you know, let's double Bukayo, let's see what happens, and then everything just like goes to shit from there. So that's basically how it went, and
yeah. So, anyways, we're both gonna go with Bukayo on that one. So, Like I said, I
American
like
soccer
Pulisic.
podcast, and we went
Yes.
opposite of Pulisic. I don't know if Nate, I don't know if
So
you've seen this TikTok recently, but it's like European soccer fan getting ready to watch the American World Cup, and like it's wow. But Lamine Yamal is really good, but is he as good as a Clint Dempsey or a Lionel Messi of all time? Or Heung-min Sung was left off of the U.S. men's national team starting roster despite playing so well for LAFC. Like it's just
yeah,
ripping on Americans. It's so funny.
that's great. Well, hey, yeah, they got a point. But hey, give us our flowers, all right? We chose the European guy over the American guy. Both of us on this show.
We
So
did.
you got to give us our flowers, man. That's all I'm saying to these European freaks. Maybe we'll post that up on social media and see if they give us a round of applause for that one.